When it comes to evaluating or checking your baby for different risks, do you recommend parents like take them to specialists right away or kind of as, they get older and grow to kind of, have their doctor check different, milestones and that kind of thing?
I definitely recommend finding a pediatrician who is familiar with working with babies born at the gestational age where your baby was born. So I remember when I was getting ready, my son was getting ready to be discharged, and we were starting to do research on pediatricians ourselves. There were a lot of pediatricians who were like, yeah, we work with preemies all the time. But when I asked how early were they born, oh, 33, 34, 35 weeks, usually something like that. A baby born, like we just talked about, the baby born that late in the pregnancy has very different concerns and has had a very different path up until now than a baby born as
Mhm.
early as my son was. And so that was a question that I thought was really important to really clarify who has had experience with what are called micro preemies, for example,
Mm.
the super, super tiny, really, really, really early ones, because it's a very different path. And with that, then we were able to have a lot of reassurance that our pediatrician was watching out. And at the time of discharge, we were certainly already seeing specialists. Some of them were from the hospital that we just saw outside of the hospital. Some of them we had to find new because they didn't transfer, they didn't do provide care outside of the hospital.
Mhm.
And so at the time of discharge, often you'll know which specialists you need to follow up with. And for the babies that are born closer to that 37-week mark, there may not be anybody. And so if you have a pediatrician that is really good at being proactive and looking for those, orange or yellow flags before they even become red flags, that's often a really good sign that you might be able to catch something sooner before it becomes a huge issue. And then if your state allows it and you're able to, I think it's always a great idea to enroll in early intervention and just have some of those specialists checking, just keeping an eye out. Best case, everybody keeps telling you everything's great,
Mhm.
no issues. And you can rest assured that you have enough eyes looking at the health and development of your baby. And worst case, somebody catches something with enough time and notice for you to actually intervene and do what's necessary to support your child's development.